And for more on the subject, I'm now joined by Frank Kaiser, Deputy Managing Director of the German Chamber of Commerce in Turkey. It's good to have you with us. Good morning to you, and thank you very much for joining us on DW. Now, you've been, of course, talking to German and Turkish businesses in these past few days, analyzing the situation. What can you tell us about the current mood among entrepreneurs after the recent developments?
Well, the current mood, you could say good morning, first of all. The current mood could be described as, of course, there's a lot of concern, but there's no panic at all. So the Turkish companies are, of course, used in a volatile environment, and I think they're waiting for further developments.
And what would you expect those developments to be? Is there any sort of prediction of what you think could happen next?
Well, of course, hopefully we all would love to see that the trade conflict will be solved very quickly, because these kind of trade wars are never benefiting anyone. And if that would be going on, of course, it will be detrimental to Turkey. So basically, we are working with mainly two scenarios: a worst-case scenario, a best-case scenario. Right now, we would have to wait whether the currency is stabilizing, and we have seen first steps. The Lira became a little bit stronger, and Turkish companies will try to deal with that. I think the main thing is that we get stability and predictability. It's not so much that the Turkish lira should not be devaluating. It just needs to be predictable, and then the companies can adapt to that.
Yeah, now we saw, as you just mentioned, the lira recover quite quickly. But let's talk about the long-term damage, especially to the country's image, because that might be one of the key issues, actually, for investors, for example. How do you assess that?
I agree. I think if you look at Turkey and you compare it with Turkey at the beginning of the 2000s, you can see that Turkey has basically the means in line to be very successful and to create a boom. And what we saw at the beginning of this century was that Turkey came out of a crisis with hyperinflation, which we don't see right now. And after that had a decade of brilliant growth. So there's a lot that still speaks for Turkey. But as you point out, what needs to be built is the trust in foreign markets into Turkey. It's basically that.